Kawhi Leonard's situation has taken a dramatic turn, and the big question that every Los Angeles Lakers fan is asking right now is simple: should the Lakers sign him if his contract is voided? Imagine this: one of the most talented, two-way superstars in NBA history suddenly becomes available, a player capable of changing the entire landscape of the Western Conference, and the purple and gold have a chance to bring him to Los Angeles. Just stop and think about the weight of that possibility for a moment. If Kawhi becomes a free agent because of a contract void, this wouldn't just be a headline, it would be one of the biggest shakeups in NBA history. Stick with me, because over the next several minutes we're going to break down exactly what this means, why it's such a complicated decision, and what the Lakers should realistically do. By the end, you'll see clearly why this isn't a simple yes or no question but one of the most important debates the Lakers front office may ever face. The story of Kawhi Leonard has always been fascinating. A quiet superstar, a finals MVP for two different franchises, and one of the most complete two-way wings the league has ever seen. From San Antonio to Toronto to the Clippers, Kawhi has built a reputation as a cold-blooded scorer and a relentless defender who can shut down almost anyone in front of him. He has 2 championships, multiple All-NBA selections, and a legacy that is already cemented in basketball history. But along with all of that greatness comes the darker side of his career: the injuries, the load management controversies, and the lingering doubt about whether his body can withstand the grind of an 82-game season plus a deep playoff run. That's why this question of whether the Lakers should pursue him if his contract is voided isn't as straightforward as it sounds. Because while his talent is undeniable, his availability is the looming elephant in the room. For the Lakers, the timing of this debate could not be more crucial. LeBron James is still performing at an unprecedented level for his age, but his window is closing. Anthony Davis is in his prime as a defender and anchor, but the team has struggled to find the right third star or consistent supporting cast to push them back into true championship contention. Every season feels like a balancing act between maximizing LeBron's greatness and preparing for a future that won't include him. That's where Kawhi enters the conversation. On paper, adding a player of his caliber to LeBron and Davis instantly makes the Lakers a super team. Defensively, the trio would be nearly impossible to score on. Offensively, Kawhi's ability to create his own shot, hit clutch jumpers, and space the floor would take tremendous pressure off LeBron. For a franchise built on stars, this seems like destiny. But the reality is, it's not that simple. Kawhi Leonard's health history cannot be ignored. Since his breakout Finals MVP performance in 2014 with the Spurs, he's missed significant chunks of nearly every season due to injuries ranging from quad issues to knee surgeries. The Clippers, who invested heavily in him and Paul George, saw their title dreams constantly derailed by Kawhi's absences. And while his playoff performances when healthy have been spectacular, the fact remains that he has rarely been available for full playoff runs over the last few years. If the Lakers were to commit to him, they would be gambling their immediate future on a player who could very well miss large stretches of the season. Is that a risk they can afford when LeBron's clock is ticking and Davis's durability is already a concern? To answer that, we need to look at the Lakers' current roster construction. The team has struggled with perimeter defense, consistency in three-point shooting, and a lack of reliable secondary playmaking when LeBron sits. Kawhi, if healthy, addresses nearly all of those weaknesses. He's an elite wing defender who can guard the likes of Kevin Durant, Luka Doncic, or Jason Tatum in a playoff series. Offensively, he's a mid-range assassin who can create in isolation, knock down threes, and doesn't need the ball every possession to be effective. In other words, he's the perfect complement to LeBron and AD. Even in limited minutes, Kawhi could swing games with his presence. That's what makes this decision so tempting. It's not just about signing a star, it's about filling critical gaps that have plagued the Lakers for years. But let's dive deeper. If Kawhi's contract is voided, it means other teams will also come knocking. The Miami Heat, the Golden State Warriors, the Philadelphia 76ers, and even teams like the Knicks or Bulls could all make pitches. Kawhi is still a marquee name, and his championship pedigree carries enormous weight. The Lakers, however, have one unique advantage: location and legacy. Kawhi has already shown he values playing in Southern California by choosing the Clippers. The Lakers offer the same geography but with brighter lights, a bigger stage, and a chance to etch his name into the league's most storied franchise. Playing alongside LeBron and AD under the Lakers brand would give him opportunities for global exposure, endorsement growth, and another shot at multiple championships. For a player who doesn't speak much but lets his game do the talking, the Lakers' platform could amplify his legacy in ways the Clippers never did. Yet, with opportunity comes sacrifice. Signing Kawhi would likely mean the Lakers would need to part ways with depth. Contracts would need to be moved, young talent would need to be sacrificed, and the financial flexibility of the team would be severely limited. That's the nature of signing a superstar in today's NBA. You can't have everything. So the question becomes, is it better to build a balanced roster around LeBron and AD, or swing for the fences with Kawhi and hope the trio stays healthy enough to make a run? History shows us both sides of the argument. The 2020 championship team was built around 2 stars and a strong supporting cast. But the Lakers' dynasty years, whether in the Magic Johnson era or the Kobe Bryant era, often featured 3 stars surrounded by role players who knew their roles. Kawhi would push the Lakers into that 3-star model, but only if health allows it. Let's also consider chemistry. Kawhi Leonard is known for his quiet demeanor, his focus on basketball, and his preference for staying out of the spotlight. That can be a strength in a locker room with big personalities, but it can also create distance. LeBron thrives on communication and leadership. Anthony Davis has embraced being vocal when necessary, and Kawhi's silence could either balance or disrupt that dynamic. The Lakers have seen what happens when stars don't fully connect. Remember the failed Russell Westbrook experiment? The front office cannot afford another miscalculation. However, Kawhi is not Westbrook. His game is far more adaptable, his defense far more impactful, and his efficiency far more suited to championship basketball. If there's a player worth taking that chemistry gamble on, Kawhi might be it. Another factor that cannot be ignored is the Clippers' history with him. If his contract is voided due to health or legal clauses, the Lakers would need to ask themselves, what do the Clippers know that they don't? Teams rarely let go of superstars without serious reasons. The Lakers' medical staff would have to thoroughly evaluate Kawhi's long-term viability before committing. But if they clear him, and the price is reasonable, the upside is undeniable. Imagine Kawhi Leonard in purple and gold, locking down the opposing team's best scorer while LeBron orchestrates and AD protects the paint. That's a defensive trio nightmares are made of. On offense, Kawhi's mid-range dominance would open up space for LeBron's drives and AD's post-ups. The Lakers would instantly become one of the most balanced teams in the league. Now let's address the fans' perspective. Lakers Nation thrives on stars. This franchise has always been about star power, from Kareem to Magic, Shaq to Kobe, and now LeBron. Adding Kawhi would continue that tradition. It would signal to the league that the Lakers are never content with mediocrity, that they're always in pursuit of greatness. And in a city like Los Angeles, where Hollywood lights demand a blockbuster cast, Kawhi would be a headline addition. But fans are also realistic. They've seen how fragile star-studded teams can be when injuries hit. They've seen seasons derailed by over-reliance on names instead of depth. That skepticism is healthy, and it's part of why this debate is so heated. Should the Lakers risk everything for another superstar, or build smarter around the 2 they already have? At the end of the day, this decision boils down to one word: risk. Kawhi Leonard offers immense rewards but carries equally immense risks. If his contract is voided and the Lakers step in, they could form the most terrifying big three in the league and chase another banner for the rafters. Or, they could end up with a fragile star whose absence leaves the team once again scrambling for answers. The Lakers front office has to weigh those odds carefully. Because with LeBron's time running out, there may not be another chance to strike this big. So what should the Lakers do? If Kawhi becomes available and the medical evaluations are positive, the answer is yes, they should absolutely sign him. The potential upside of pairing Kawhi Leonard with LeBron James and Anthony Davis is simply too high to pass up. Championships are won by taking bold swings, not by playing it safe. And if there's one franchise that has always embodied boldness, it's the Lakers. But if the evaluations raise red flags, then the team must resist the temptation and instead focus on building depth, shooting, and defensive balance around their existing core. Either way, this decision will define the next era of Lakers basketball. So Lakers fans, I want to hear from you. Do you think the Lakers should sign Kawhi Leonard if his contract is voided? Do you believe the reward outweighs the risk, or is this a trap the team should avoid? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this debate is too big for one voice alone. And if you enjoyed this deep dive and want more breakdowns of the biggest Lakers news and NBA storylines, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. The season ahead is going to be full of drama, surprises, and defining moments, and together, we'll be here to break it all down. Until next time, remember this: in Los Angeles, the standard is greatness, and every move the Lakers make must be judged by whether it brings them closer to another championship. Kawhi Leonard might just be the next move that changes everything.